everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Norma and thank you for clicking on this video. I'm going to be taking my braids out while talking because it's highly overdue, and I had to do this, but I've been doing other things, and now that I have the time, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. So just take it as ASMR or whatever, like whatever you can take it as. Yeah, so today's video I'm going to be talking about how I settled here in Canada and everything I did, because it's very important as you also want to come and school or work or live in Canada. You need the basic things, the shelter for winter clothes, and you need a job to help with the expenses and the payment for the bills and everything. So coming from a different country, maybe from Nigeria to Canada, there's two different systems and two different ways everything works. So having an idea of how someone else did it before coming in and just jumping into a river that you don't know how deep it is, it's nice to know that. So since I have been able to stay here for some time, I'm going to share my experience with you guys. Okay, so I came here to Canada on the my hair is not that long. I want to do this thing fast. This hair has been with me for so long. Okay. Okay. It's highly overdue. It's highly overdue. My roots are bad. Okay. I came. There's no going back now. I came to Canada on the. Okay, I traveled on the 25th of June 2022, and I landed on the 26th. And I stayed almost a day in the airport because my flight, something happened to my flight. I don't know. I think, yeah, I remember. The flight, because it was a connection flight, the flight from Nigeria to Canada was delayed. I don't know, they're always delaying flights. So I missed the next flight that was meant to take me from Montreal to Winnipeg. So I had to wait for some time, and then yeah, I got my next flight the next day, which was the 27th. But I landed in Canada on the 26th. So for the immigration border, the thing is, when you apply for your study permit, you don't get your study permit until you land at the immigration border. You get your study visa or your student visa. That's what you use to travel to Canada. And at the port of entry, which is the immigration office at the airport in Canada, that's where you get your study permit. And the immigration officer there asks some questions, and then you answer it. Just get ready for the questions. They're not too difficult. I don't know, people online make it look like it's a do or die affair. I don't know, maybe I don't want to say, oh, don't bother about it, still look at the questions. But honestly, if you're confident and you know what you came to Canada for, those questions are going to be nothing for you. We're just going to ask you where you're staying in Canada, when you intend on leaving, what school you're going, just basic questions to, I don't know, to know more about your situation and be sure that you're the person that landed. I don't know why they ask those questions. Yeah, so I answered all the questions, and I used the shuttle to get to go from Winnipeg to Brandon. And the shuttle cost $60. Like when I was going, it cost $60, because from Winnipeg to Brandon is, you know, I think it's like 2 or 3 hours away, thereabouts, on the road. So it's like 2 or 3 hours away. I used the shuttle. Don't use a taxi because taxis are so expensive. you can end up spending close to $400 while using a taxi. So it's better to use a shuttle or a bus, or if you have family, friends that can drop you off, that's the best because it will probably be free. Yeah. So I spent 60 and I stayed with my friend. I stayed with her for from June to when did I from June to okay, that was the end of June, so I'll say it was like 4 days in June. Let me just say July and August. So I stayed with her for 2 months. So I didn't go to the school residence because I heard that the residence is not the best. The food is not the best. I've seen what they serve is like mainly like burgers and Canadian foods, which as a Nigerian is not really food. It's not that it's bad, it's just different. That's what I'll say. It's different. So I stayed with her, and how I found my place, that place that you saw, if you haven't watched my my apartment tour, I'll link it. Hopefully I remember to link it, and I see where, yeah, I'll link it there. I found that place on Facebook Marketplace. Honestly, I wanted to go somewhere else because in church there's someone I met in church that I go to Richmond Park Church in Brandon. I was going to Richmond Park Church in Brandon, and someone I met there linked me up with someone else. She had a free room, and the rent was $400 for the room. But the thing is, my sister was coming, so we wanted to stay in the same room to reduce costs. But in that place, only one person can stay in a room, so that didn't really go as planned. So I found a place I was staying in on Facebook Marketplace. It was somebody else, and we were able to rent that room, and 2 of us could stay inside. It's an apartment, so it's like they're not as what's that word, as they're not too engrossed in what's happening there. They just want the money, I think. But when there's a landlord or one person that owns the house, for example, they're going to be more invested in their house and knowing that everything is tip-top, up to shape, up to like standard, whatever, because it's their money. Like only one person is dealing with that. So we stayed in that apartment, and the distance from the apartment to school was, I think by road it's like 5 or 6 minutes, like if you're using your private car, but to the bus is 20 minutes. So that was stressful, honestly. If I'm going back, like when I'm going back, I'm not staying there again just because of I don't have a car, and the stress of it. Sometimes I feel like not even going to school because of how stressful it is, and especially during the winter time, it's a lot. It's better to just stay somewhere that's very, very close. You can walk to school. But the place was a nice place, and it was secure, it was peaceful, so I really liked that about the place. It's very good during the summertime, but I'm not going back again. Like I need to stay close to school. Yeah. So the first week when I landed in Brandon, I needed to go to church because you have to go to church on Sunday. And we've all heard, I don't know, maybe it's only me that I've heard it, that people abroad, they're not really Christian, they are whatever they are, they're atheists, they're whatever, but there are still some Christians there. So I was like, oh, I have to find a church when I'm staying in Canada. So I was looking for some churches online. I was seeing different churches and I didn't know where to go. So I called my mom to help me. I want to go to church this day. Thank God it was summertime. Like, let me just continue. I want to go to church this day. She's like, Her spirit is telling her that I should go to this church. That was Richmond Park Church, because there was another church that was like 15 minutes away walking from where I was staying, but Richmond Park Church was almost 40 minutes away, and that time I didn't have a bike and I didn't have anything, and I was like, I didn't even know how to use the taxi in Canada because I didn't have my phone number, so I couldn't really call that much, and I also didn't have access to mobile data, only Wi-Fi, which was a hassle. That was a hassle, honestly. So the best thing for me to do was just walk. I ended up walking. After that, I ended up walking. I walked for I think 37 minutes to the church, and then I went there after the service. They were so receptive. It's mostly white people, and I told them, oh, I haven't been here for up to a week. I just came and I'm here in church. And one of the church members, I don't know if I'm allowed to say people's names. Oh my god, see dandruff. I don't know if I think I can. So wow. So she's Aggie, and she asked me, she's like, oh, we have a program in church, it's a camp, and we need some help. Would you like to help us in church? And I'm like, yes, I would love to. I'm so jobless at this point. I have nothing I'm doing. Why not? Why wouldn't I want to do that? So I was there. I thought I was just volunteering. I worked there for 4 months, and it was a camp where with the children, and you just do fun stuff with children, honestly, and preach about Jesus to them. You come every day and honestly spend time with children, and you guys go on excursions to different places. It was very nice. That was what really opened me up to going to places that I hadn't been to, and I didn't have to spend so much money. So that was really good. And I also ended up getting, that was a long time ago, so I think I can say how much I got from that. I worked for the whole of July, and it was from Monday to Thursday. What time did we start? I think it was 9 or 10, and we closed around 4 thereabout. So that was every week, and I got like over $1,000 from that, which I was like, that was my first serious money. I was like, I didn't expect this. That was amazing. And I can say it's only God, because we had to also pray. We prayed before going to church, and the service was nice, the preaching, everything was so nice, and I was able to get a source of income for that time. And when I was done with that, because it was only for 1 month, I didn't have anything to do again. But then again, Aggie also called and asked if I wanted to go to another camp, and I'm like, yes, I want to go. I don't even like, the money is not the main thing for me. I really loved the experience of camp, and I also want to go this summer to other camps because I love it so much. That's what I've been eagerly waiting for summer, for the camps. So I went to this other camp. It was 5 hours away from Brandon, and the camp was mainly for native Canadians. We preached to them about Jesus, but this one was totally different. The first one I went for, like the first camp I was at, the first one is called Adventure Day Camp. Adventure Day Camp, most of the children already knew Christ. They've already heard about Christ before, and their parents are Christians. They come to church. So that one was like, you're just teaching children, you know, and they're getting deeper knowledge about Jesus and God and our Christianity. But this other one that was 5 hours away, it was so different. The fact that it was so different, some of these children have never heard about Jesus before, and even those that have heard don't believe it's real. Their parents don't believe that Jesus is real, and most of them, if you look at the children, I don't know, am I allowed to share this? I don't know, but am I allowed to? I think so. I will just say it like, okay, for the safety of it, I will not call this camp's name. Yeah. A lot of the children at that age, they take drugs so much. Like they can't. We had to. Some children confided in me that they have drugs with them, like serious drugs that get them how drugs do. And these children, I think the oldest was 14. They were around 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm like, why? Why is that? Why is that a case? And it's not like only one person. So many of them had that. So that camp really taught me so much. Getting to experience that and really talk to the children. Some of them at first, they're like, nah, they don't believe this. Their parents have told them it's not real and they should not bother. They just came out of they just came to the camp because they want to escape from the reserves. They don't want to stay there. It's just messy and everything like that. So coming to the camp was just a way for them to feel something different, meet their friends. But to see after some time, when we were getting deeper into the camp, some of the children actually come to you and be like, we heard this in church. What does this mean? I'm interested in this, and if it's going to help me not feel this pain that I feel. Some of them, they don't have a lot of them don't have parents, and even the people that have parents, their parents are not really there for them emotionally. I'll say the parents are also addicted to some different things and are just not the best. So when they actually wanted to learn about Jesus and learn about Christianity and wanted to give their life to Christ, that was amazing. I didn't get paid for this one, but I don't know, the experience, it stuck with me more. Honestly, I've never experienced something like that. And the fact I was 17 at the time, the fact that I was older than some of these children with no more than 5 years, I'm like, wow, people are going through a lot. People are going through a lot. So that was really a wonderful experience. And see, my hair, anybody that tells you that winter cuts hair, don't take it as a joke. I took it as a joke and I left my hair for some time. I had to trim my hair because my hair is in the worst state at this point. It's so bad. It's so, let's not even talk about it. Just when you come here, make sure you do your protective styles, your braids and your cornrows, because you don't want to be me. You don't want to be me. Yeah, so that was really amazing. I'll say, when you come to Canada, please come to church. Canada can be so sad during the winter times. Can you imagine some of these people? If you want to play music, you can't really play music because you're going to be disturbing people and affecting their personal space or whatever. It's people just stay at home, especially during the winter. The winter time, sometimes I will not want to step out of the house. I just want to stay at home and relax. So with that kind of environment, how do you want to not, I don't know how people do it and they don't go to church. You don't have your brethren and your people with you that you can talk to, relate with, laugh with. It's going to be very sad, honestly, and very depressing. You can make all the money in the world, but when you don't have that group, you don't have your group, your tribe, your family, it's really sad. Listen, Hebrews 10:25 tells us that we should not, like, some people are forsaking the gathering of the brethren, not because you've come to Nigeria and you're no longer with, I don't know, why do you feel like Nigerians are so religious? Nigerians are religious, but then here it's like, oh, I'm not part of the religious whatever, I'm going to do whatever I want to do and live my life. Christianity is not about, honestly, the truth is, God loves you, but if you leave the congregation, honestly, someone else is going to come, and if you don't come, stones are going to rise up and take your place and worship God. You're not as important as you think you are. This Christianity is for your benefits, for you to be saved, for you to be in a relationship with the person that made you, the Father that made you and gave you your breath. don't take it lightly. Don't take your spiritual life lightly. When you come to I say lightly. Oh, lightly. When you come to Canada, please find a church and stay in that church. Make sure it's uplifting your spirit and uplifting your soul. If it's not, please leave, because you're wasting your time. You need spiritual growth and you need a spiritual family. I'll say, firstly, when you want to settle in Canada, settle your spiritual life first, because everything is going to fall. Exactly how I told you that I went to church and I wasn't expecting a job, and I got that job. It wasn't really a job. That was not a job. I still got a source of income, and they helped me so much with my moving and finding a place. They were like, oh, you can check Facebook Marketplace. That's where I found that other place that I found, because they've helped me with a place, but it wasn't what I wanted. So I was able to find that, and it's just it was just a blessing to my life. Honestly, church is a blessing, and I want you all to be part of church and part of the congregation, part of the family, part of the Christian brethren. Part of us will accept you and love you how God loves us. Yeah. Oh. And also about the banking, my SIN, I came here and I think it took me 2 weeks before I got that, because I had no idea what to do. No, I asked people, but then I applied online. If you apply online, it takes like 10 days before your SIN comes, but then it was taking too long, so I went to the Service Canada office here in Brandon, and I got my SIN literally that same day. I got it before the one I applied for came. It was the same number, but then if you want to get your SIN fast, just go to a Service Canada office and ask them for it. Give them your study permit, your passports. I think those are the only things you need, yeah. And then you get your your SIN that day, because you can't get a job without your SIN. So you need that. SIN is social insurance number. That's what you use to get a job, and they use that, for people that don't know, they use that to track your income, how much you're making. That was before, when students only had 20 hours. They could not work for more than 20 hours, but now that people can work for more than 20 hours, I don't think it's too necessary to depend on, like, they don't really use it to track people's money. Because before, if you work for more than 20 hours and you're trying to apply later on for a PR or a work permit or whatever, that can affect you, but not too much now. So the easy for that, when you get your SIN, the next thing you need to get is your bank account. Your bank account, you go to your bank, and then you might not have a number at that time, so you either, if you know someone, you either ask them for their number, and then you put, if your bank asks you for a number, you give them that number, and after, when you get your number, you change it on your phone. It's not hard. You just do everything on your app. But after SIN, the next thing you have to get is your bank account. And if you're up to 18, you get a credit card, because here everything, this whole economy is really credit based, and they ask for credit cards a lot. When you have your credit card, you can use it to get your number. And number, it can either be postpaid or prepaid. Prepaid, you don't have to have a credit card, you just have to come every month and pay the amounts that you have to pay. So most what do they call those things, most bills, like phone plans, yeah, data plans, are between, I think the lowest I've seen is $20, which is, I will not even advise to go for that. It's nothing. You don't even, you won't have data that's in, I don't know, $20 to $80, but for students it's mostly around $35 to $50 for something that will actually benefit you and help you with your life, because you're going to school and you need data when you're not at like places that have Wi-Fi, your school or whatever. And when you have a bus, or when you're using bus, you need data to know your bus routes. So 35 to 50, my plan is 50 for 20 gigs, so that's very good. I think that's good for Canada. It's good For Nigeria, I don't think so, but for Canada it's good. And how I got my phone, it was also another difficult case. Like, I came when I was 17, so I couldn't get a credit card till 18. So that was a hassle. I had to use one of my friends. She did it for me, so she was my guardian, I'll say. It was under her name, but I was paying it to her. I'll just pay the bill to her while they collect the bill from her credit card. It was under her name. I could have done it prepaid, but honestly I did not trust myself. I did not trust myself that I'll pay on time. So I just said she should help me do that. But coming here as a 17-year-old is not easy. It's really not easy, I'll tell you that. But I did it, so you can do it. It's not easy. If you have someone that is over 18, nothing is a breeze. But on your own, I won't advise such. So what you need is either your credit card for your phone bill. You need either your credit card, your study permits, your passport. The first few months you're here, you're going to be carrying your passport up and down, so get ready for that. Your passport and your if you don't have a credit card, you may have to give them your SIN, but you don't really have to give SIN to get your phone number. Then after that, the next thing I got was my ID card. I got my ID card for the province. Every province you can get your ID card. It's so much better because you don't have to be carrying your passport up and down. I won't advise you to carry your passport up and down because what are you without the passport? Where are you going to? You need your passport. It's so important. How I got my ID card. I don't want to show it too much. Let me see if I can show it without I don't know where it is. If I have a picture, I can blow it and show you. How I got my ID card is just I used my study permit and I used my passport, and I also you also need two forms of ID that two forms of documents that show where you live, and they have to be the same address. Like the two documents have to have the exact same address. So for that I use my bank statement, and I also use my pay stub. That's the money I was getting from work. They need that, and there are other things you can use, but I used those two things, and then I got my ID. So my passport is hidden somewhere, but I know I don't carry it up and down anymore. So I think those are the main things to settle and honestly I haven't gone to the African store since I never go to the African store because I brought a lot of food from Nigeria, and honestly I don't eat that much. Is it yam? I don't really like yam. Is it soup? I eat it like once in a millennium. What I usually eat is beans and rice and eggs and vegetables and meat. So that one's not a problem for me. If you have to eat your fufu and amala and okra soup, then I don't know. It's not that hard. I don't think it's that hard. There's African store, it's just that it's very expensive. Other than that, what are the main things that people need here? After those three things, when you get a job, how I got the Sobeys job, I was on Facebook on one of the Brandon groups, and then someone posted a job posting for vacancies, and I said, it was just like the flyer. I said, let me try my luck and submit my resume to the email I saw on the flyer. I made my resume. I used like a day to make my resume. It wasn't, I think you can watch my video, my resume video. I also have that. I didn't even think of that. You can watch that. I made my resume and I submitted it, and I think I got a call for an interview. I know everything happened in less than a week. I got the job and started. So that was good, honestly, because looking for a job is not that easy, and it's also not that hard. That's how I got that job, and that job was okay for me. I used it to pay for my rent and my feeding and everything I needed to pay for my school stuff. A lot of things I for it with that job, but I'm not there anymore because I'm not really in Brandon that much for the summer. And yeah, I'll look for a job here in Regina, and if not, I'll just I don't know what my next step is when it comes to job for this point. But that's how I got that job. I would say it was okay. It wasn't too bad. The work environment was very nice. Of course, jobs are stressful because they're jobs, but other than that, it was okay. I liked the environment, and the pay wasn't bad. I could survive with it, so yeah. Also, for winter clothes, most of my winter clothes are thrifted. I got it from thrift store. Most of my clothes, like 90% of my clothes, 90% of my shoes, right? I think so, are thrifted. The only things that not really thrifted are my bags, because yeah, I got it from Nigeria. If you want to buy winter clothes, you don't need to spend $100, $200, $300. Go to the thrift store and get clothes for yourself. You will find so many good ones. If you're scared of going into thrift stores, then spend your money. But honestly, get it from thrift store. The only one I would say it really helped me that I didn't get it from thrift store, I got it from Facebook Marketplace, was the black one. I showed it in this video up here, that black one. And it's, you can also search Facebook Marketplace too, if not the thrift store. But I haven't bought anyone straight up from a store. The other ones that I have that I didn't buy, I got them for free, so that's not stressful. For transportation, I think I've said this in most of my videos, I use my student ID, and it's free for students, so transportation is not a hassle. It's only here in Regina that transportation is also doing me anyhow, but it's summer, so I can walk. I'll just walk for 2 hours. I think that's all. Yeah, one thing I haven't been able to say, I haven't settled here, is cream. They don't have good cream here. For my skin, it's not good. It's very dry. It's like water. It's like rubbing water on the skin. So please get your good cream from Nigeria, the one that will last you for till they expire. If it's expiring in 2026, please bring a lot of the creams, because they don't have African skin cream here. Honestly, they don't. There's Vaseline here, excess. That one's not a problem. Excess Vaseline. Tubes, tops, all of them excess. And attachment, get your attachment too. They have attachments here, but it's on the pricey side. All my attachments I've been using, like this one, all from Nigeria. So that's how I'll be able to settle here. Also, hey, please, if you have eye problem, please do your eye prescription in Nigeria. Eye things are so expensive here. It's like my glasses are not here. One frame is usually around $100, and we are counting above that. So just get your $40 glasses from Nigeria. Glasses and prescription. Your $40 glasses and prescription. What is it? Why are people moving around? Your $40 glass. Oh wow. Your $40 glasses and prescription.
Could the video see me? Should be wide and
how's your? I'm using a lamp for this. I'm using a lamp, and okay, there's a ring light here, but that one is not helping much. A lamp. Don't spend too much money on your filmy stuff, just by the way. Are you seriously kidding me? I can hear that thing. This video might be noisy because they've started making noise, but thank you. This ending part. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it helped you. This was meant to be like just a story time kind of thing where I talk to you how my experience was, and I hope it helped you. Please like and subscribe as usual, anything as usual. And we're at 2,000, over 2,000, like 2,200, and at this moment 2,246 subscribers. We're growing so much, honestly. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Thank you. Hope I'm helping you. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. If I can answer it, I'll try my best to answer it. If I cannot, honestly, I will not really answer much, because I don't say something that's not true, something that doesn't have base. And I'll talk to you in the next video. I'll finish this hair up hopefully before the day ends, because it's around 10 p.m. right now. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye bye.